Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday, July 5th. It is 11:21 a.m. Always talk about what I talk about that's going on in my life, and then dedicate the majority of this vlog to my fitness, weight loss, maintenance, all of the above journey. So, for those of you that follow along, I have not been on Instagram. When I say fix that here, like posting and doing all that since May 31st. I feel that it's time to go back. So I will be posting today regarding my journey. So my journey started in July 2011. I just got my notes here so I don't get off track. I've talked about my journey countless times, meaning I'm very open about it. I'm proud of it. I want to share it. So I'll be linking the link to my blog where I chronicle the journey, as well as some Instagram posts for folks to just like review and look at. I've been chronicling pretty much like anything I do health and fitness related for a couple years now, so it's pretty cool, just like these vlogs, to be able to look back at this and like reflect and see what I've learned, like when I redid the plank challenge. So yeah, my journey was July 2011. I was 227 pounds. Now it is July 2020 and I'm 135 pounds. I know when folks hear that, they're like, oh my gosh. And for me, this is all that I know now, so it's not like, oh my gosh, but when I was going through the process every year, I was like focused like on the year and not like the overall combined. So yeah, looking back, it's like, I can think about every year and like I'm smiling because I'm just so proud of like being like consistent. Not perfect, but being consistent and staying through with like this is a lifestyle. That's something I believe in very much so. And then of course I try to share this message with like clients that I work with, that the goal of course is enhancing and improving yourself and how you see that, but figuring out how can this be maintained long term and not short term. So pretty much that was me in a nutshell. For years I'd just be on and off, and then in 2011 I was at my heaviest, 227. I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic. Diabetes runs in my family, and I knew that I didn't want to be diabetic, and I knew that like I could be consistent. Like, why was I always on and off? And something that speaks to my 30 days now, I was like, let's just try something. If I can be consistent with other things, can I just try to be consistent with this? So that was the goal. Like, can I be consistent with this for like 30 days? And just like try. Like, I would walk, I would find YouTube videos, a la my love for Yoga with Adriene. I found Yoga with Adriene and I was following her videos. I'll also link it down below if you're interested. I should write that. YWA link. And like I didn't have a trainer, I didn't any of that. I was just like, let's just try, let's try. Let's make some food choices that I would feel comfortable with and not feel uneasy about like the next day. Just the focus was just to try, and that's still my focus to this day. I just like to try things, and like, what's the worst that can happen when you try something, right? And that's how it began. So July 2011 till 2017, I had been working on that on my own, and I lost 86 pounds. And for those of you who don't know who I am and my story, for those of you who do know, then this will sound familiar. I got a back injury, a herniated disc, my lumbar 5 and my S1, my sacrum, Don't know how I got it. You can only like hypothesize, because it's not like I fell and then I went to the doctor and I got diagnosed. I started to feel real uncomfortable sensations in that area of my back, and I had gotten an MRI, and long and behold, it was a herniated disc, and I went to physical therapy. So like all the working out that I had done for me, because obviously I look at me like now, I didn't lose progress, but for me it was like set back for me mentally, because I was like, how do I come back from this? Like, physical therapy taught me that all things are possible. At that time, working out the way that I did, and I was just working out at home, never had a gym like membership, I didn't have a membership. I was like home, working out at home. And physical therapy had taught me how to move again, meaning listen to your body, find like what feels good, a la Yoga of Adrian, and really like that you don't have to live with pain. You can figure out ways to get better and feel better through movement. Physical therapy changed my life, because at that time I was scared to move, so I wasn't moving the way I had. I put on weight again for a couple of reasons why I put on weight, because it wasn't just because I wasn't moving. I was eating more, not moving, pretty much like stagnant, so I had put on some weight. I didn't gain back the 86 pounds, but I totally put on like a good like 20 pounds during that time. But physical therapy, I went 3 times a week. I went after work, and my PT was amazing. Like, it was just like the fundamentals, you know? Like, I knew what to do with the pain that I had, how I can make adjustments and still like do a movement. Like, I'll give you an example, like now, right? This could be universal for anyone. When you're doing a push-up, if your form is not great when you're doing a push-up, then you can modify the push-up. You can use your knees, you can use a pillow, you can do modifications. And that's what I learned from like PT, like physical therapy overall, that I could do anything that you can do, I just modify it. And that's still my motto to this day. Pretty much, and I was so grateful for it. It taught me like recovery and what to do and so forth. I learned a lot in therapy. I was in therapy for 6 months, and I went 3 times a week, and we were just working on my core strength and developing a strong core. And I used to get very, very bad back spasms. One time, if my best friend's watching this, my neck had got locked like this. I woke up and I was like this, and I learned how to open that up and what to do when I do feel something coming on. I learned my YWTs. I learned glute bridges. Anything. Like, to this day, it helps me when I work with clients who have back problems. When I work with my former trainer, my current trainer, I already know like what I need to do to modify. I'll try something out. If the movement's not okay, well, modification. So it's really helpful to be open to that process and to know how like your body works. I really, really opened up my eyes to a whole new world. And then thus, I graduated from physical therapy, and that's it. You know, like, you're done. It can't be indefinitely. And I was genuinely, even though I learned how to do all these things, I was genuinely scared to move. I didn't want to like re-hurt myself. I did not opt for surgery. I opted for the natural route, which was physical therapy. And to this day, I don't suffer from back spasms anymore. I really don't get flare-ups in my back. I feel the best I've ever felt in years. So it was a positive. But at that time, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. In my mind, I was like, oh, I'm scared. So I have reached out to an online trainer, Miss Susan, and her and I got to work. We got to work. I opted for an online trainer because I I knew I've always had the motivation, always, especially since I had committed since 2011. You know, like not perfection, just being consistent. I knew that I would not fall off the plan. I needed to work on my confidence again when it came to working out, and it was more psychological, right? How could I hurt myself again? Would I really do something intentionally to hurt my back? So yeah, we worked together from 2017 to 2019, and that's where I learned about the world of, she taught me a lot. I learned about the world of macros. So that's your carbs, proteins, and fats, and counting calories. And that is something I do to this day. And that's really what helped me it educated me. I think most trainers would understand what I'm saying, and most folks. What I was doing from 2011 to 2017 on my own was, in losing the weight, I was in a caloric deficit, meaning that I was expending more energy than what I was consuming. And my trainer had taught me that. And I was like, oh, long and behold, that's what I was doing. But we were more on the data side of things, and that's what I was missing. I knew that I had put in this work, but I didn't have anything besides like a picture here and there to really show for it and how I felt. So I started with using MyFitnessPal and tracking my food intake. And to this day, it's so much fun, and I love working on that with folks. Just focusing still to this day on my overall calorie intake and then my protein intake. So that's something that we had did. And then voila, the picture taking and the measurements. So since 2017, since we have worked together, I have taken progress photos every month since 2017, and I have my measurements from every month since 2017 to this day. And that's great data for me to be able to have and to look back upon. In the post that I linked in my YouTube description below, I have my measurements from 2017 till last year, 2019, my July to July. So that is something that is really like eye-opening for you to be able to see, because sometimes you may not feel that you are making like any progress. And if you can just look at the numbers and the data, that will move the emotion out the door. And that's how I like to operate with my clients. What does the data tell us? What's our averages? What are we looking at, right? And then when you see that immediately can put things at ease if you're feeling uneasy, because you see the numbers don't lie. And then all of a sudden you can start to think a bit more clearer and say, you know what, that shirt did fit me a lot looser, and you know, I've been making choices that I feel good about, and wow, like I've been getting those 10K steps in a day, right? It takes out any doubt that you have or uneasiness that you have when it comes to how you're doing when you can look at the data. So I've been doing that, and then I lost close to 40 pounds doing that. So present day, I'm 135 pounds. I know I am not with Susan anymore, as since I was working out at home, it was great. We just knew that I was ready to start working out in a gym and to start lifting like heavy. Dun dun dun. So yeah, and for a lot of you that follow me, you know that I work with a bell, and yeah, that was a whole awesome new chapter. So we make a year next month that we committed to working together full time, because there was a time where I was working with both of them, which was last year. And then I transitioned from Susan to working with a bell. Do you need a trainer when you work through this process? No. I was just someone who was like so scared out of my mind that I would hurt myself again. And obviously, like, I didn't, right? I'm not perfect. Those are the thoughts that I had. I'm human. But I really learned a great deal, and it inspired me to want to become a trainer, because I had realized throughout the process that I was just so dedicated and so motivated, and I have been so motivated for so long that I thought, you know what? I could help other people. I'm a real person who went through this process. So I think you get some street cred, right? When you're working with other folks, and you can let them know, like, when you're in a calorie deficit, yes, there'll be some hunger, and it's not every day that you are motivated, but you're disciplined to do what you have to do. And I get it. Yes, you're busy. I was busy as well, figuring out what to do, how to get it done, find the balance that works for you, not understanding what protein is, figuring all of it out. I've been there, done that, and still going through different things. So that's why I had took the plunge. But something I wanted to touch upon is maintenance. There's so much discussion about weight loss, understandably so. But the maintenance part, I was done with the weight loss in 2018. So it's 2020 now. I've been maintaining and progressing. And that, I find personally, is the work. That's the work at hand. When you've lost the weight, you're in this new body, and you need to buy new clothes, and you're still thinking about that person that you're still like, I'm still Jess, right? But I was Jess who was 227 pounds, who was like a size 24, and now I'm Jess who's 135 pounds and who can be from anywhere from a size 0 to a size 4, depending on the clothing. And that's a process too. And then maintaining that for whatever reasons you want. Like, I've been maintaining my health, I've been maintaining my progress, and I have not gone back to 227 pounds. That's not a goal of mine. A goal for me is genuinely to make sure that I am healthy, I have a strong back, and that I have a long life, and that I feel good, and I feel good every day. So, mission accomplished for myself, but it takes work, real work, to not have the numbers on the scale go back up again. Like, for where I am present day, update for me present day, July 2020. I'm eating the most food I've ever eaten. So I still track calories. I'm about to increase my food intake to 2,300 to 2,400. When I was in my calorie deficit, I was eating about 1,600 calories a day. And I weigh less now, right? Things change. I'm 135 pounds. When I stopped losing weight, I was 140. I've not intentionally been losing weight, but that's just where the scale took me. I'm 135 now, so I'm getting more food. But of course, I'm moving more than I used to. I'm burning more calories because I move so much, meaning with my workouts, with walking, with just everything. Yeah, just think protein powder. I relied on protein powder so much, I don't like it anymore. So I've been focusing more on like whole food consumption, meaning not having like protein powder. I would have it in my overnight oats, and I'm just getting tired of it. So there's that. Protein intake. I used to struggle with that. Now it's very easy for me to get 100 grams or 200 grams of protein a day. So those are new things that I've learned along my journey. Just looking at my notes here. Alright, so I know better than to make this video too long. But that's and I'll let you read the content that I have as to what I did, but that's pretty much my journey. And since this is also my vlog, some things I wanted to share. I got 8 chin-ups. I had just wrote about my chin-up journey and how I could do 5, and that was in May. I can do 8. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. That's what consistency and hard work brings. Results, baby. And then next week, I'm going to be launching my Meal Prep 101 plant-based guide for busy people. I already have a protein 101 plant-based guide for beginners. So I'm going to be doing my plant-based Meal Prep 101 for beginners. So I'm going to launch that next week on my website. So thanks for watching. over and out. See you next Sunday. Have an amazing day. Bye.